I noho mai koutou, please be seated. E atami nui e tēnei au, maku I ki atu ki a koutou, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata, ati hei Māori ora. Te mihi tuatahi ki te mātua nui tarangi. Nā mea katoa I pā, a tēnā rā koe. Anō hoki, I tō whaia papatua no ko kei waho, takuto mai, takuto mai, takuto mai, kia kōroa me o rātou tamariki hoki ngā mihi. Tuarua I ngā mate, oia marae, oia whānau, takuto mai, haere. Haere ki Hawaii ki nui, Hawaii ki roa, Hawaii ki pāmāmao. Ke te taha o I o tātou tupuna. Nō reira, kua waiho, haha mātou te pō ki te pō, ka hoki mai ki te ao, ka ti. Tuatahi, e te mana o te kōrero tuatahi I tēnei ahiai. I ngā kaikaranga, tino a tāhua, tangi a ngā manu, ka atu au ki te tautoko ana, te mihi kua mihia, nō reira, kia koutou, ngā mihi. Tuarua, te mana whenua o te haukainga, tu āhuriri, ka atu au I raru I te maru o tō mana, o tō kawa, o tō tikanga, nō reira, koutou, oku tuakana, ngā mihi. Tuatoru, I ngā manuhiri, nau mai, haere mai. Haere mai tuatahi ki te whenua o te wahi paunamu, I raru I te maru, I raru I te maru o te mauka āriki ko aoraki. Tauti mai rā ke te whenua o tuahuriri. Nui reira, nei te tae o maha nui I mihi atu ki a koutou katoa ngā wai tapu I riri ana te noko o te whenua. Nui reira, rauranga tira mā, nau mai, haere mai ke te whare wānanga o Waitaha Hoki. Ke te tautoko ana, te whakanuia I o koutou taonga kei konei. Nau reira, I hoa mā, rauranga tira mā ngā mihi. I ngā ākonga, kātu au ki te mihi miharo ki a koutou katoa, ke te mahiranga tira o koutou, ke te kāhui o te mātauranga o toi whānui mi pūtaiao. Nau reira, o ku tuakana, o ku teina o ngā ākonga, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. E te mana o te whare wānanga nei, te tumuaki, John, kōrua, te tumuaki tuarua, Rod, koutou mā ngā mema o te kaunihira, ngā kaiako, ngā rangatira o te whare wānanga nei. Tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou ki te taha I o whānau tautoko o ngā ākonga, ki te whakanuia te taonga o mātou o koutou. Nau reira, I hoa mā, raurangatira mā ngā mihi. Very briefly, on behalf of Ngaitahu, it is my privilege and indeed honour to stand alongside the University of Canterbury and extend the first warm words of welcome to you. You haven't come to listen to me, but importantly by way of translation, in acknowledging the deities who have created the environment in which we live and from those who have passed, from whom we descend, I pay my respects. I acknowledge that I stand and compliment the kōrero of the karanga, those that called. And I acknowledge, importantly, those who have travelled locally, nationally and internationally for this very important day. Ultimately, the celebration of your treasures, whether they be parents, children or grandchildren. Ultimately, this is a day for the stage party as well as you to celebrate the success of our future. Therefore, without further ado, I will extend my welcome once again. Raurangatira, tēnā koutou, nau mai, haere mai, tauti mai rā. Kia ora.
Manu tiria,
Manu tiria, manu werohia ki te poho te raka katou, re 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 katou mai I te ruhi e tau e koia. Koia ko tā rariki ki mai I Maui e hara I te whetu me te waru e tau e koia.
Koia. Nau reira, I hoa mā, nau mai haere mai, tēnā koutou, kia ora mai tātou katoa. Kia ora.
Ka tangi te tihi, ka tangi te kaka, ka tangi hoki aho, ti hei Māori ora. Ro rangatira mā, nau mai, piki mai, haere mai ki te whare wānanga o Waitaha. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa. I welcome you to the University of Canterbury and invite all present to stand, remove trenchers, and join in singing the Māori and English versions of the first verse of the national anthem, as in your program and as displayed on the screens behind me. Please be seated. It is a pleasure for me to welcome you to this University of Canterbury graduation ceremony at the completion of my third year as your Chancellor. I can report that the university right now is an inspiring place to be. We have had a huge year together. As the result of milestones reached and decisions taken, our destiny is very much back in our own hands. Immediately before September's general election, the Prime Minister and Cabinet colleagues arrived on campus to break ground for our two new major building projects and to confirm delivery of the first $100 million tranche of the government's capital injection in UC. This in turn enabled the University Council at its November meeting to authorise signature of the contract for the total rebuild of our engineering school as Canterbury Engineering the Future, or CETF. Preparatory work on the even larger greenfield project, the Rutherford Science and Innovation Centre, is already underway, with the construction contract due to be let in 2015. We have recently celebrated the reopening and renaming of the former registry building as Matariki, the name itself a gift from our Ngāi Tahu partners, marking a new beginning for us all. And most confidence building of all, the University Council on Monday decided to settle with its insurers for a total amount of $550 million. The coming year will see further milestones. Council also approved on Monday preparatory work for the remediation and development of the Commerce Building to provide for the first time on the Island campus a home for the College of Education. Hopefully, progress will at last be possible on the University of Canterbury Students' Association building. And in the course of 2015, UC will be returning to its roots in downtown Christchurch, taking up a long-term lease of the old chemistry block at the Arts Centre, initially for our classics and music departments, and to display publicly our world-class collection of Greek and Roman antiquities. The overall campus renewal will see our university offer some of the most modern facilities in the Southern Hemisphere, if not the world. But buildings are simply a means to an end. And the current chapter in our proud 140 years history is about putting people first, our staff, and especially our students, above all other considerations. New buildings allow for new methods of learning and teaching. We at UC acknowledge the changing nature of tertiary education and the increasing responsibility we must accept to ensure our students continue to succeed in life and career long after they leave our care. No longer does a student attend university just to get a degree, or having done so, does the university just cast them loose. UC is determined that its students will not only graduate with excellence in a core academic discipline, but will also be employable, innovative and enterprising, be biculturally competent and confident, will be engaged with the community, and will be globally aware in an interconnected world. These attributes and the career foundations they provide are central to everything UC stands for. Over the coming years, we will be doing our utmost to attract, retain, and grow great talent as we continue to build our world-class university. So much for the future. Today is a time for celebration and congratulations to our graduands. It is a time to acknowledge their talents and their commitment to the goals they set themselves and the disciplines they imposed upon themselves, in most cases years ago. This is the time to celebrate not only their hard work, but also their resilience, because a university qualification does not come easily. This is an occasion our graduands will remember for the rest of their lives. I hope they will remind themselves from time to time of the setbacks, disappointments and doubts they overcame to be here, ready to graduate today. Our special admiration goes out to those graduands who found ways to manage the competing demands of study, family life and a working career. We particularly acknowledge those for whom university once seemed a daunting prospect, something out of reach, an impossible dream. Perhaps this was because of a disability, because they had tried once and failed, because they had not studied for many years, because English was not their first language, or simply because they were the first in the generations of their family down all the centuries to have both the opportunity and the desire to go to university. I was once one of those too. It is a time too to acknowledge and thank the two most important contributors to the success of our graduands: the university faculty, those lecturers, tutors and support staff who gave so freely of their knowledge and time, and those family members, whānau and friends who have supported those graduating today. They offered practical help and encouragement in times of stress and doubt. They became part of your eventual success. Let us note as a community and as a nation how much we will benefit from the success of our graduands. They will contribute through their knowledge of the latest thinking and research in their fields. They take into our community the ability to reason at an advanced level. Many will become leaders in their professions. All will work in the service of humanity. Many will go beyond our shores. I know that wherever they choose to work and settle, they will use their new skills to contribute to a better world. Wherever they live and work, today's graduates will become University of Canterbury alumni. They will become part of a community of scholars in excess of 120,000 strong, and part of a mutually supportive global network. We look forward to maintaining contact with them and welcoming them back home from wherever they are, whenever they choose to come. It is time now for me to say the words which under law give effect to the highlight of our celebration. As each of our graduands comes forward, let us call to mind their work, their commitment, and the determination which have led to this, their special moment. And let each graduand reflect on just how special their own achievement is. In graduating today, you confirm your place in UC's cohort of 2014, which, as I observed at our graduations in April, will go down in the long and distinguished annals of this institution as perhaps the greatest we have ever known for resilience, courage and determination, and at the same time compassion and caring for each other and for the wider community. After this week, no one else can qualify to join that cohort, and from today, your membership of it will shape and sustain you for life. I now convene a ceremony of the University of Canterbury for the conferment of degrees and the receipt of diplomas. In the name of the University of Canterbury, I, Lionel John Wood, Chancellor, now confer degrees in this university upon those who are about to be presented. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Rod Carr, to introduce those who will present the graduands.
I call upon the Dean of Postgraduate Research, Professor Lucy Johnston, to present the doctoral graduands.
Sir, I have the honour to present these graduands for the conferment of degrees. Floris Begay in Geology. Jonathan Peter Bray in Ecology. Sarah Elizabeth Coxon in Zoology. James Edgar Dent in Mathematics. Pragatheswari Dandeapani in Biotechnology. Bayaira Doneva in Chemistry. Mark Lewis Galatowicz in Ecology. Diane Margaret Gordon-Burns in History. Olga Golieva in European Studies. Erin Jean Harrington in Cultural Studies. Simon William Howard in Ecology. Tejraj Vijay Kumar Jemmale in Biochemistry. Claire Elizabeth Lukuta in History. Amanda Saevo Lee in Speech and Language Therapy. Ghislaine Leslie Lewis in Media and Communication. Erin Lee Celeste Neufeld in Antarctic Studies. Jane Margaret Newbury in Speech and Language Sciences. Danielle Ovchnikov in Chemistry. Woodrow Jules Pattinson in Environmental Science. Sean Kevin Scanlon in Journalism. Paul August Siratovich in Geology. Karen Leona Stewart in Gender Studies. Lewis Elizabeth Tonkin in Sociology. Hong Wang in Sociology. Murray Noel Williams in art history. Sean Paul Williams in hazard and disaster management.
I call upon the Associate Dean of the Faculties, the Humanities and Social Science and the Creative Arts, Dr. Alison Griffiths, for the graduands in her faculty.
Sir, I have the honour to present these graduates for the conferment of degrees and receipt of diplomas. Masters of Arts with distinction, Oliver Benjamin Crawford Ellis. Mason Francis Head. Elizabeth Cecilia Perry. Elizabeth Ann Plew. Luke Ward Toart. Masters of Arts with Merit, Amy Elizabeth Clark. Olivia Caitlin Sutherland Taylor. Rosemary Victoria Carson. Samantha Charlotte Rose Robinson. Wade Alexander Stent. Masters of Arts, Sarah Eve Healy Hughes. Fraser Vaughn Liggett. Master of International Law and Politics with Second Class Honors, Division 1, Brody Tyler Costello. Bachelors of Arts with First Class Honors, Joshua Francis Longley Toohey. Ruth Mary Agnew. Scott Robert Anderson. Rose Eunice Scott Avarice. Alice Lucy Bates. Vivian Christina Tew Booth. Robert Alwyn Davies. Julia Grace Dreesens. Samantha Rachel Gavin. Pieta Louise Gray. Alicia Holly Harbison Price. Ruth Ann Cecilia Larson. Amanda Jane McCauley. Christine McConnell. Natasha Lee McLaughlin. Lydia Joy Mearns. Samuel Thomas Mills. Jenna Maria Narushevicini. Laura Elizabeth Oakley. Luis Andres Pedersen. Joni Mae Richardson. Rebecca Ann Forbes Robinson. Hannah Grace Smith. Emily Ruth Songlian Wilby. Elizabeth Ebony Yagush. Bachelors of Arts with Second Class Honors, Division 1. Reese Joseph Bassett. Lawrence Mark Glaister Rothwell. Helen Rose Smith. Kendra Elizabeth Smith. Kelsey Ann Sowden. Bachelors of Arts with Second Class Honors, Division 2. Connor Joseph Broughton. Amber Macalia Fletcher. Zia Miriam Lilly. Samuel George Stokes. Bachelor of Arts with Third Class Honors, Zoe Elizabeth O'Flaherty. Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, Rebecca Kate Eder. Maren Lee Patrick. Bachelors of Arts, Mary Anakin Abbott. Ashley Justine Alberts. Sol Arrowfield. Sarah Jean Askey. Jonathan Gary Bannon. Katie Elizabeth Barlow. Chloe Louise Biddick. Rose Evelyn Boulderston. Misha Lily Booth. Lauren Isabella Buckeridge. James Michael Burns. Harriet Jane Bush. Thomas Anthony Candler. Shu Han Chu. Young Sun Cho. Sarah Margaret Cleghorn. Steen Roy Clifton. Andrew Joseph Coburn. Roberta Candace Coleman. Hannah Elizabeth Cook. Brad James Cottam. Alistair Adrian Cross. Zoe Berno Cummings. Columbage Dilanica Annika de Silva. Nicole Diana Dench. Tyson John Putu Kite Pakenga Dench Potu. Stacy Lee Dick. Christopher John Dixon. Shannon Peggy May Dilger. Kieran Samuel Doreen. Amy Rowallan Durham. Holly Ann Easton. Jennifer Ellen Eder. Simon Jeremy Elgar. Megan Paula Ellen. Sophie Lee Ellie. Lauren Marie Ellis. Nicole Kate Evans. Bernadine Anna Eves. Keegan James Fakney. Gabriella Amy Farah-Duecht. Brittany Kate Camille Fisher. Samantha Carol Foster. Emma Kate Frapwell. James Stephen Gibson. Deborah Marie Gill. Claire Goff. Bernadette Denise Marie Goulding. Helen Charlotte Hadfield. Katie Louise Haggett. Nicholas Brian James Haggerty. Leah Nicole Haggett. Ellen Jane Haley. Natalie Olivia Harbett. Siobhan Michaela Harrington. Nicole Mary Harris. Laura Elizabeth Hayden. Nicola Wong King Hu. Tristan Alexander Francis Hickman. Morgan Helena Hodgson. Rio Hosama. Ashley Renee Huisman. Jesse Thomas Hunter. Joel Benjamin Innocent. Karen Melinda Insel. Ryan John Noel Jones. Giamoa June. Osana Kakoi. Hee-Yeon Kang. Anisa Kazimi Manshadi. Ryan John Keane. Emily May Crackman. Timothy John Kent Lalahi. Rebecca Elizabeth Laurie. Emma Joy Leary. Sujin Lee. Todd Matthew Lilly. Bomi Lin. Fiona Kate Love. Fern Louise Elsa McVeigh. James William Marks. Connor Torapa Matthews. Jack William Donald McCammon. Cecilia Rose McCormick. Lucy Bella Robinson McCrossan. Harriet Claire McCubbin Howell. Azurek McMillan. Samuel Robert Douglas McMillan. Kate Laura McNabb. Graydon Lawrence Robert Meek. Danielle Hannah Meekin. Jennifer Marie Melhaupt. Daniel Fraser Middleton. Kayla Elizabeth Miller. Alice Catherine Mitchell. Rui Miyazawa. Umi Nurhani Binti Mod Salah. Ashley Jane Monk. Alexandra Rose Monteith. Nathaniel Barry Lindsay Moore. Melissa Ann Morrison. Nicholas Sam Moss. Charlotte Amy Rose Molam. Cindy Helen Mulligan. Marlene Estria Murray. Rachel Helen Nicholson. Hannah Lillian O'Loughlin. Elizabeth Emily Osborne. Kimberly May Palmer. Giri Park. Surya Peloso. Georgina Jo Pendley. Philippa Jane Piscini. Georgia Harriet Ann Pinkney. Natasha Louise Pinkney. Connor Tamiva Pocoati. Caitlin Joy Powley. Erin Margaret Pratley. Sophia Zipporah Preston. Sophie Alexandra Pringle. Fadia Farida Rafik. Brogan Lorna Callahan Ramsey. Huda Richards. William Christopher Roud. Sarah Elizabeth Ruddock. Jasveet Singh Sandhu. Jessica Anika Shop. Charlotte Louise Scott. Kelly Victoria Shrimpton. Hilary Claire St. John. Christopher Anthony Steele. Courtney Alice Stinson. James Graham Stringer. Elizabeth Hannah Marie Sutton. Kanako Suzuki. James Henry Tapper. Clifford Gingarte. Luke Daniel Taylor. Danielle Sandy Jane Thomas. Amy Rachel Toy. Spencer Charles Watautu Trillo. Jennifer Marie Underhill. Jenna Rosie Vendors. Courtney Michelle Van Maastricht. Sophie Claire Elodie Isabel Violette. Paris Wesley. Jessie Diamond Wiki. Janine Margaret Williamson. Charlotte Rose Wilson. Olivia Hope Wilson. Jane Linda Ratton. Andrew James Wright. Ashley Brooke Wright. Jaewon Yoon. Graduate diplomas in arts. Adam Ross Fenton. Xiaoran Zhao. Graduate diploma in journalism with distinction. Hannah Lee Herkenbach. Graduate diplomas in journalism. Olivia Jane Baskand. Grace Elaine Cabell. Samantha Natalie G. Krisha Kravchik. Caitlin May Porter. Jessica Mary Polar. Georgia Louise Weaver.
Good afternoon. The Erskine Singers were formed in 2008, originally as a singing group based in the Maths and Computer Science building called the Erskine Building. They've grown in size, especially in the last few years, to include staff and students from all over the campus. Their director, Professor Jan Evans-Freeman, is the Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Engineering and used to direct the University Choir in Manchester in the UK prior to joining UC. The choir sing a mixture of well-known songs and opera choruses from around the world, the only criterion being that all pieces chosen are in at least 4-part harmony. They're accompanied by George Buchanan, a UC postgraduate student in the College of Engineering, who also has studied for a Bachelor of Music. The choir will perform 2 pieces this afternoon. The first is Don't Cry For Me, Argentina, from the musical Evita. It is sung by the title character Eva Perón, and it appears early in the second act as Evita addresses the crowd from the balcony of a house in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The title of the song comes from an epitaph on a plaque on her grave in Buenos Aires. The plaque roughly translates as Don't Cry For Me, Argentina, I remain quite near to you. The second piece is the finale from the comic opera The Gondoliers by Gilbert and Sullivan, also known as Danza Cachucha. A cachucha is a Spanish solo dance in fast waltz time, although it was first created in Cuba as early as 1803. Spanish rhythms can clearly be heard throughout this piece, and reference to the dances is through descriptive words such as clitter-clatter and pitter-patter, referring to Spanish or Cuban heels.
It won't be easy, you'll think it's strange when I try to explain how I feel, that I still need your love after all that I've done. You won't believe me, all you will see is a girl you once knew, although she's dressed abundance enhances the reckless delight of that wildest of dances. To the pretty, pretty, pretty patter, and the glitter, 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 clatter. Glitter, glitter, clatter, pretty, pretty, clatter, glitter, glitter, clatter, glitter, glitter, clatter. Pretty, pretty, pretty patter, and the glitter, 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 clatter. Pretty, 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 with us. All Ceres will drink Manzanilla Montero, for wine when it runs in abundance. Enhances the reckless delight of that wildest of dances, that wildest of dances, the reckless delight. Danza, cachucho, fandango, bolero, Ceres will drink Manzanilla Montero, wine when it runs in abundance, enhances the reckless delight of that wildest of dances. On Ceres will drink Manzanilla Montero, for wine when it runs in abundance, enhances the reckless delight of that wildest of dances, the reckless delight of that wildest of dances.
Diploma in Russian Language. Christopher John Rudman. Bachelor's of Social Work with First Class Honors. Karl Stefan Belker. Rebecca Jade Chenery. Olivia Jennifer Dishington. Lilia Maria Garza. Susan Patricia Mary Giles. Brooke Marie Robertson. Rochelle Lee Searle. Lori Mae Williams. Bachelor's of Social Work with Second Class Honors, Division 1. Selena Willow Ross. Shannon Leslie Wilson. Bachelor of Social Work with Second Class Honors, Division 2. Jasmine Amy Morgan. Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing with Distinction, Christine Mary Tate. Bachelors of Fine Arts, Gail Marie Batchelor. Kate Elizabeth Beatty. Janie Catherine Bruce. Olivia Jane Chamberlain. Ilana Dom. Narelle Janice Denmead. Ashley Louise Duncraft. Tyne Mary Gordon. Sophie Louise Morton. Tessa Mare Sheeran. Lauren Alexandra Taylor. Georgia Somerville Watts. Postgraduate Diploma in Art Curatorship. Paige Jessica Allen. Bachelors of Music, Bethany Sharon Cox. Liam Andrew Doreen.
I call upon the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Associate Professor Catherine Moran, to present the graduands in her faculty.
Sir, I have the honour to present these graduands for the conferment of degrees and the receipt of diplomas and certificates. Masters of Science with Distinction, Emma Jane Patricia Deere. Eric William Richards. Victoria Lena Ruth Singer. Master of Science with Merit, Thomas Michael Hildebrand. Master of Science with First Class Honors and Postgraduate Diploma in Clinical Psychology, Alana Nairi Bishop. Masters of Science with First Class Honors, Charlotte Ann Austin. Samantha Ellen Bodman. Kelly Truda Campbell. Rebecca Hannah Fitzgerald. Daniel John Hill. Timothy Robert Miller. Amanda Jane Peterson. Sasha Mahani Roselli. Joshua Allen Yi Wei Tia. Ashley Marie Watts. Catherine Rose Fawcett Yates. Masters of Science with Second Class Honors, Division 1. Jeremy Zhao Yang Go. Thomas Peter Moore. Samuel James Murray. Emma Marie Porter. Alexandria Betty Tino. Bob Neil Young. Master of Science, Alexander Manu Neiman. Master of Water Resource Management, Hannah Logeson Mitchell. Bachelors of Science with First Class Honors, Christopher Richard Horn, Senior Scholar. Simona Sejazova, Senior Scholar. Robert Hendrick Scott Culling. Chelsea Marie Robinson. Alex James Shutterbum. Constance Chua Ting. Bachelor of Science with Second Class Honors, Division 1, Joshua Yang Chen. Bachelor of Science with Second Class Honors, Division 2, Thomas Otto George Doring. Bachelor of Science and Certificate in Arts, Kirsty Suzanne Hansen. Bachelors of Science, Jane Laura Abernethy. Avoca Jean Adams. Darlene Jeannie Adrian. Wafa Salim Nasser Al-Hajri. Joshua Gresham Allen Johns. Yasser Samir Al-Muhanna. Gregory Neil Anderson. Matthew John Arnott. Teresa Leilani Balcom. Matthew Graham Barton. Cara Maxine Beatty. Daniel Joseph Beeler. Jade Amy Bennett. Chloe Nicolette Black. Jonathan Michael Borer. Roshit Kumar Botara. Brittany Olivia Bradley Kane. Courtney Louise Bremner. Arapera Hinara Brown. Robbie Brown. Yi Sing Chow. Imran Amir Chowdhury. Stephen Colin Wiley Cook. Finian Jack Creswell. Ian Francis Curtis. Nicole Marie Kuzil. Ellery Bryden Danes. Edward Noel Daly. Eugen Philip Daughtery. Madeline Emma Davison. Bianca Judith de Jong. Adam Paul de Winter. Andrew Francis Davenport. Neil James Dix Johnston. Janice Ian Furigay Dialola. Abby May Dixon. Ellen Ivy Dixon. Lara Rose Dixon. Shannon Kate Tizard Douglas. Andrew George Douglas Clifford. Sarah Olivia Ann Drake. Michaela Lee Egerton. Phoebe Grace Evans. Ellis Joel Evans. Thomas Reed Llewellyn Faulkner. Hamish Graham Farrant. Bronwyn Meredith Taylor Feckney. Christopher Isaac Flores. Clarice Louise Flynn. Jacob Francis Freilich. Rochelle Dion Gardner. Paulo Atienzo Garrido. Oliver Thomas Robert Gibbs. Thomas James Esmond Goodwin. Gerald Ian Greaves. Catherine Victoria Hackett. Burgundy Rose Hale. James Alexander Rich Harris. Lily McNabb Hermanspahn. Kaylin Elizabeth Higginbotham. Tyler James Hosking. Clark Christopher Howard. Henry James Howitt. Jessica Laura Margaret Howie. Luke Allen Hutchings. Shohei Inaba. Amberly Robin Jackson Percy. Sarah Ishbel McGuah Jameson. Morgan Grace Jones. Deepin Kalra. Sonia Eva Karato Neeson. Mallory Catherine Kindred. Matthew Carl Kippenberger. Danielle Koravar. Jaram Lalu. Stephanie Laville. Yun Lee. Jonas Jian Lim. Sean Robert London. India Maxine Lowe. Charlotte Louise Lucas. Junji Luo. Anne McKechnie. Harriet Rose McCauley. Glenn Peter McCartney. James Patrick McCoy. Jared Thomas McGill. Stephanie Rose McGimpsey. Elizabeth Ellen Rose McIntosh. Jamie Lee Rose McKenzie. Alexia Kate Mertens. Scott Christopher Miller. Caitlin Amy Monk. Regina Morgenstern. Miles Allen James Mulligan. Barbara Katerina Nagy. Rachel Marie Nichols. Samantha Harriet Nichols. Timothy Francis O'Grady. Hayden Daniel Petch. Thomas Ethan Pitt. Vanessa Helen Price. Calland Blair Ramsey. Josephine Emily Robison. Danielle Marie Robson. Kristen Selena Rochford. Jasper Lynn Camachas Rosalitas. Matthew Stephen Ruffle. Elizabeth Margaret Ryan. Michelle Rosamond Ryan. Liam David Scanlon. Kathleen Alice Seddon. Chi Min Sir. Tian Chang Shen. Jamie Keith Sheriff. Bernice Dulcie Shin-Yi Sim. Aaron Nairi Smale. Ryan David Stedman. Michael Steenkamp. Matthew James Burgess Stevenson. Tessa Lee Stevens. Kirby Lee Streeter. Emma Lindsay Sutherland. Lara Jane Sweetapple. Kimberly Joy Tanner. Millicent Grace Taylor. David John Tebbett. Stephanie Louise Tibbetts. Joy Ing Ing Cheong. Lefcadio Hoesiro Toke. Tamate Salio Tolo. James William Upjohn. Laura Marie Vitali. Blair Thomas Waller. Grace Elizabeth Wallace. Ryan Mark Wayland. Annie Rose Lauren Pamela Willis. Mitchell John Winder. Henry David Winter. George Henry Woodham. Riza Woodenberg. Hu Wei Yap. Justin Jia Xing Zhang. Postgraduate Diploma in Science with Distinction, George Thomas Williams. Postgraduate Diploma in Science with Merit, Carl Jonathan Baker. Safira Colleen. Postgraduate diplomas in science. Stephanie Jo McMullen. Matthew David Spence. Postgraduate diplomas in engineering geology with distinction. Matthew Henry Price. Mark Graham Sellers. Postgraduate diploma in geographic information science with merit. Winona Jade Richardson. Graduate diploma in science. Lin Zhu. Postgraduate certificates in Antarctic Studies with distinction. Carrie Horton Hartley. Lydia Rose Winter McLean. Briar Ann Schwalger Smith. Postgraduate certificates in Antarctic Studies. Stephanie Jane Littledale DeHamel. Sophie Frances Julia Dobson. William James Craig Dobson. Mary Therese Patterson. Master of Audiology with distinction. Victoria Ann Askin. Master of Audiology, Anna Louise Suckling. Bachelors of Speech and Language Pathology with first-class honors, Sariska Imogen Bilby Adams. Max Florian Gleisner. Amy Rochelle Jacobson. Samantha Annabelle Malcolm. Fatima Amani Mohinuddin. Sarah Louise Sturgis. Bachelors of Speech and Language Pathology with second-class honors, Division 1. Angelique Teresa Bartoshevitz Poole. Leslie Mary Dobbs. Elaine Yi Ning Ma. Bachelor of Speech and Language Pathology with second-class honors, Division 2, Laura Jane Fuller.
It is now my great pleasure to invite Mr. Michael Aldridge to give the graduation address. Michael Aldridge was most recently Senior Vice President, Corporate Strategic Development at Questcor Pharmaceuticals, a California-based biopharmaceutical focused on the treatment of patients with serious, difficult-to-treat autoimmune and inflammatory disorders. Michael graduated from UC in 1989 with a Bachelor of Science honours. He has a background in the global biotechnology and pharmaceutical industries and has held leadership, strategic and financing roles in companies in North America, Europe and Australia. He also has a background in major international investment banking and merger and acquisition markets. Before moving to Questcor, Michael was the Chief Executive Officer and member of the Board of Directors for Peplin Incorporated, a pharmaceutical company which successfully developed a treatment for skin cancer. Mr. Michael Aldridge.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of Council, staff, guests and graduates. My name is Michael Aldridge and I have the very distinct honour to speak at your graduation. It is a great honour because I have a very important goal in front of me today. Today is a critical day in your life. My goal is to ensure that you leave this ceremony completely aware of the unbelievable achievement that you have secured, but more importantly, ready to embrace the enormous opportunities which are the rest of your life. I am rather committed to the idea that the world is a very, very small place, and you can live the greatest life. That is the opportunity that I want to describe for you today. Anything that you want for your life is available to you, and I want you to embrace it today. Before I get into that bigger picture, I want to tell you a story of a very pivotal event in my life. I graduated from the University of Canterbury with a degree in chemistry. I loved chemistry. I loved its productive nature. I loved its potential to do good in the world, and I was good at chemistry. But somehow I allowed the conversations around me to convince me that chemistry did not offer a satisfying career. The voice in my head said, how could Bunsen burners and beakers make me successful? So I abandoned my passion for chemistry and headed off to become an investment banker. Initially in Sydney, then in London, San Francisco for a period of time, and then finally to New York, the world's capital of finance. Wow, this was the thing. This was high finance, this was exciting. Who could do better than this? And then it all came to a crashing halt. I had moved to New York with a top-tier investment bank, and in one of the blunt layoff rounds that Wall Street uses to manage its profitability, I was fired from Bear Stearns. Now, being fired from Bear Stearns was at the same time the most painful and also probably the most important event in my life. It was the kick in the pants that I needed to stop worrying about what other people thought was success and start following my own passion and direction. So I went back to chemistry, took on the role of CEO of a small but exciting Australian biotechnology company. This company was called Peplin, and I steered that company as we successfully developed a new treatment for skin cancer. It was the 5 most enjoyable years of my professional career. Making a difference in the world for skin cancer patients was life-changing for me. Now, I got fired from Peplin as well, but the happiness, success, and personal fulfillment that following my passion brought me was life-changing and enabled me to face other significant personal and professional challenges. So please find and follow your passion. Keep searching for your heartfelt goal in life. And like most things of the heart, you will only know it when you find it. But do not give up until you have it. Do not accept anyone else's view of success or live someone else's life. Listen to your heart and pursue your dreams. What do you have going for you to achieve that? Well, let me turn to a short story which I have adapted from a speech given by American author David Foster Wallace. There are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way. The older fish nods at them and says, "Morning, boys. How's the water?" and keeps on swimming. These two young fish swim along for a bit more, and then one young fish says to the other, "What the hell's water?" And the point of this story is not that I am some wise old fish with pearls of wisdom to share. The point of this story is that sometimes the most obvious and important realities are at the same time the hardest to see. So let's take another look at your realities. So the question we have for ourselves is, what is the water that you're swimming in? First, this city and this university and its students have been through some pretty tough times. You are the class of students that made the decision to stay during Canterbury's earthquakes. You all made the choice to continue with your studies at Canterbury when Christchurch was literally falling down around you. You are here today because you both persevered and because you succeeded. Secondly, you have a great education. Today you graduate from one of the finest universities in the world. You are among the smartest and most qualified people on this planet. Thirdly, and most importantly, you are New Zealanders, unquestionably the greatest country in the world. And I do not say this because I am biased. I say this because I know it. I am a New Zealander. I grew up in New Zealand. However, and this is important, I do not live in New Zealand. And so I can tell you with absolute authority how being New Zealander occurs for everyone else in the world. You have the immediate respect and recognition of being a New Zealander and all that means wherever you go, anywhere and any time. Everybody knows, loves, and respects your country. Do not discount it. It is one of your greatest assets. So, you are a young, smart, highly educated, can-do Kiwi who won't take no for an answer. That is very powerful. I would say the water is pretty good right now. This is your reality. Whatever you want for your life is available to you today, right now. But let's be clear, your time is limited and this is not a trial run. Do not waste any time living someone else's life. Find what you're passionate about, and when you find it, get after it. Again, do not settle for being an investment banker when what you really want to do is run a biotech company. Take today and right now go and live the most fantastic life possible. My sincere congratulations to you all, and thank you for listening. Thank you.
Michael, thank you very much indeed for an honest, insightful and personal address today. On behalf of all of you, I would like to take this opportunity to express a vote of thanks in and for the staff, the academic and general staff of the university, who the last 3 to 4 years for many of you have provided a learning environment which has underwritten your successful endeavours recognised today. Can you please join me in applause for the staff of the University of Canterbury? Among you are a wide diversity of students, now graduates of the University of Canterbury, who have come here sometimes from local high schools, sometimes from further afield within New Zealand. And for some of you, you have come across waters, cultures, and languages to become part of our institution, to contribute towards our culture, to help us understand better what it means to be globally aware. To our international students, congratulations on your special mountain that you have climbed in language and culture. And to all of you, thank you for bringing your curiosity, mastering your chosen disciplines. And now your task is to go forth with courage and make a difference in the world. I have no doubt you will. I have no doubt, as Michael has said, that you will find and follow your passion and that you will make a difference. Tangata tua, tangata ora, people prepared to make a difference. That is your task, and I'm glad to be a part of it today. As we conclude the formal part of our ceremony, I'm going to ask in a moment that you stand while we sing Gaude Amus. Gaude Amus, the words of which appear in your program. And then I'm going to ask that you remain standing while the stage party leads the graduates from the hall. Please stand.